It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. The original sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, responsibility, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of warmth and responsibility. Warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound. The original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. The original sound of the Black Sea, warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the sound of warmth. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. It is the sound of warmth and responsibility. Sound of warmth. The original sound of it is the original sound of the Black Sea and sound of warmth and responsibility. Sound of the Black Sea. Sound of warmth. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. Sound of warmth. The original sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of warmth and it is the original sound of the Black Sea. Sound warmth and warmth. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. Warmth and responsibility. Sound of warmth and responsibility. Warmth and responsibility. Warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, the Black sound of warmth and responsibility, sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. Sound of warmth. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. It is the original sound of the Black Sea. Sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the It is the original sound of the Black Sea. Sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. It It is the original sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. Sound of the Black Sea, sound of warmth and responsibility. Sound.
Привет, мамочка. Как у вас дела? У меня все хорошо. Я вот думал, вы еще не спите?
Sound of warmth and responsibility.
Нормально, я выкарабкиваюсь потихоньку каждый день. Получше и получше.
Хорошо. Ну что, тебе карточка банка пришла?
Карточка банка, да, пришла, все хорошо. Я ее, правда, еще не проверил. Не проверил, можно ли снимать деньги с нее нормально. И, сори, я просто
Не потеряй же.
Не, ничего не потеряю. Все хорошо, не переживай.
Найди место, где там документы. Я нашел это свои.
It is the original sound of the Black Sea.
Да, я дома, вот ко мне Софи пришла, я вот убирался. Теперь вот сегодня такой день.
Что у тебя вместо режима?
Пока еще лампочка стоит на шкафу. Новая, но ее еще не повесил, никто, поэтому стоит.
Да ты не вижу, это не стоит. А то и...
Не, она пластиковая, она не стеклянная. Поэтому не раздает.
Хорошо.
Как у вас дела? Вы себя чувствуете?
Хорошо чувствую. У папы машина сжигала.
Правильно.
Кури. И эту размать на ремонт. Мазду и Жигули сломалась, не заводится. Завтра будем чинить. Все как легко, рабочий.
It is the original sound of the Black Sea.
Очень соскучились, папа вообще страдает. Так соскучился за Андрюшкой, за Вики. Просто он страдает, и все, не знаю, что с ним делать.
Я тоже соскучился. Я тоже соскучился.
Я так за детьми скучаю.
Соскучился. У меня прям тоже бывают иногда моменты, когда прям раза да, ой, сейчас прям слышно.
It is the original sound.
Ее кормили пару месяцев, нас 7. Потому что надо водичку пить. Знаешь, ничего хорошего,
Как твоя пьете в область здоровья.
не готовили.
Это. Да. телефону, все нормально, чего тебе не
Хорошо, а то я думаю, что ты ее бросил.
Мы же договаривались вчера созвониться. Я институту звонила. Сегодня 8 марта. Вот я поздравить с 8 марта.
Спасибо.
Желаю всем, желаю тебе и всем женщинам свободы, равенства и собственно.
Свободу и независимо.
2, 1, 2. Hi everyone again. Just a little note. I'm gonna speak now a lot, and I'm gonna do it in English. So, and I know that here in the audience some people who maybe do not speak English or do not speak English very well.
So don't hesitate to translate to each other if you want. Like, to not don't be afraid to interrupt me, it's okay. So before, 2 years ago, when I was making this choreographic piece, this would be the final of the performance. But this spring and also last several weeks in Ringtheater were a very interesting process, and I decided to that I cannot just let you go only after watching these images, which can be metaphoras or can be abstract, sometimes not so abstract, but still. And I decided that I want to show to you what my home really is. And if this work is about how I try to connect with my home and how I miss it, I would like to show you what I'm missing actually. So in April, I asked my mom, I just texted her in Telegram, and I asked her, can you please make some pictures for me, some photos of our flat or street or yourself, whatever you want. And then in about 1 week, she sent me a bunch of pictures, and today I compiled a slideshow for you with a little room tour from me around my parents' flat. So this is an actual Black Sea. Because on the video before, when I was going into the sea, it is not a Black Sea. It was filmed in Spain, north of the Spain, Vizcaya, because I couldn't go to Black Sea, obviously. And this is basically a view from my parents' flat window, which is very beautiful, and I miss it a lot. And also, I remember my mom telling me that when they only wanted to move into this flat. Flat was completely destroyed. It was super chaos. It was like not possible to live there, but my mom just saw the view from the window, and she said to my dad, like, we are staying here. I don't care, we will renovate everything, but I need this view. And very often, I'm from Yalta. It is a small touristic town in Crimea, Ukraine. And before 2014, when Russia occupied Crimea, there were a lot of huge touristic ships coming into the port. Up to 3 ships, because 3 ships is the maximum capacity of the port of Yalta. And I remember that it was very impressive for me when I was a kid, especially when I was like 5 or 10 years old, because it is like a huge white building coming into the town. And now we can look at the corridor, and this is the corridor where this window actually located. So this is the window where you can see this view from. And I remember when, I think around 2017 or 18, my parents evacuated my grandma from eastern Ukraine. She was living in a little village near Luhansk city, and she was already very sick, so she couldn't walk really, and they needed to take her, and they brought her to Crimea. And I remember that last years of her life, she really liked to look by the window. I'm not sure that this is an actual size of my grandma,
I think she was a bit smaller. She was a very small woman, like until my chest maybe. But yeah, this is basically a position where how she was standing and looking by the window. And if we go from this corridor to the right, here is a room where my grandma actually also was living. But before it was my room, so I was living in it. And before me, my brother was living in it. It was his room. And basically all the furnitures which you can see, like a sofa, table, wardrobe, bookshelf, it is all like 30 years old already. So this is basically a sofa where I was sleeping. This is a table where I was doing my homework. I think only TV is new because they brought it for my grandma so she can watch it. And this wardrobe also, I love it a lot. And when I was 14 or 15, I very much liked to do graffiti. And all this wardrobe was covered with my tags. Andy 49, Andy because I'm Andri, yes, Andri, so like American manner, Andy. And 49, 4 is number of our flat, and 9 is number of our house. And my parents, of course, they didn't like it at all that I'm doing graffiti. And but they couldn't do anything with it. And after I left, they so didn't want these tags to be on the wardrobe, so they bought special sticky panels made like wood, like wooden panels, but like, you know, just the stickers, like wallpaper. And they just sticked it on this wardrobe, so there are no tags on it. So now it looks clean, but if you will just pull it, there are still some of my signs under those panels. And now we are coming back to the corridor. And if we go in further, we are coming to another corridor. Because this flat was a communal flat before we moved in, before my parents moved in. And it was basically one long corridor and 3 rooms, in which room one family was living. So we never had a proper kitchen. We had this corridor kitchen, and here you can see the cooker on the left side with a pan, and there are some cutlets in it. Maybe, I'm not sure what kind of cutlets it is. Maybe it is my mom's chicken cutlets, which I like a lot. But also when I look at them, they are a bit kind of orange. So maybe it can be my father's carrot cutlets, which I'm not a big fan of. And another thing I like about this image of this corridor is this poster. This is basically a Santa Claus, and text says like Happy New Year, but not in Ukrainian, in Russian, because it is occupied territory and they're everything in Russian right now. So. And I like, the thing I like about it, that when I asked my mom to make a picture, it was kind of mid-April. So basically this thing is hanging there like all the year. And then if you, from this corridor, if you look to the right, you can see a living room, which also my father's bedroom at the same time, because they do not sleep with my mom a lot together. And this is where my dad is sleeping. And here, it's not on the photo, but here is also a TV, which is working constantly all night, usually, because my dad cannot sleep without TV. So basically, we all need to listen to a bit of TV from other rooms all the night, because it is hearable. And also you can see a laptop next to the sofa, because my dad works there as well. And if you open the laptop, there are a lot of cramps in it, because my dad also eats there. And once when I wanted to care about him and clean the laptop, he was very, like, he didn't like it. He said, like, don't touch my things, go away. And behind the sofa, there is a table which is our dining table, and I have two different types of memories around this table. First is very collective, because this table also can unfold, so it can become bigger, and if guests are coming, all the people can be around, so it can fit more people. And so it's kind of collective memory of being together with me, my parents, my extended family. And also sometimes this table was a place of loneliness for me, because often I was sitting there at 7 a.m. eating porridge before I'm going to school, basically, when it's still dark outside. Horrible. And now we are coming back to the corridor kitchen, and in the front it is a toilet. My mom didn't take any picture of the toilet, sadly, but I would like to say that it is a very beautiful toilet, because you can see also a sea from the window. So you can basically sit, you can sit, poop, and look at the sea. And if you go to the right, here is the door, you come into my mom's room. And this is one of my favorite rooms, because it is a lot of light in there, very big windows. And I very much love this picture, first of all, because there is a cat, Melissa. And Melissa is a cat, originally a cat of my brother and my brother Vitya and his wife Vita. And now it is a cat of my parents, because my brother and his family, they had to leave the town very rapidly a couple of years ago, because Russian army was looking for my brother, basically. So he could get into Russian military, although he's Ukrainian. And they had to run away very fast, and they had a small child, like a 1-year-old child on their hands, so they couldn't take Melissa as well. So now Melissa living with my parents. And on the next picture, you can see the shelf. And I love this shelf because there are a lot of pictures of my family and me. This is me when I just went to school. This is my brother in school. This is old photo of my dad. This is also 1-year-old me. And this is my brother in university. And there are also a lot of different toys, because my mom really likes different small toys, and I was sending to her in a package even some toys from Europe. And the most of all I like that we all are standing beneath the Jesus. So we all are protected. And I mean, last thing I want to show to you is my mom's working table. I love it a lot because, first of all, you can see white things under the keyboard, and it is basically my mom is collecting a lot of different papers which are connected with her family. So there are some letters of me or my brother which we wrote to her, or just our documents, like some old documents or our old photos which she's collecting there and just working on it. And on the right side you can see children books. Upper one says like Magic Flute, and the lower one says like Forest Man Fairy Tales. And these are books which my mom reading to my nephew, Miroslav. She's reading them to my nephew when they have a Zoom call. She's reading through the Zoom call. Sometimes she's calling through the phone, or sometimes through her laptop. Sometimes she's calling with my brother, Vitya, his wife, Vita, their son and her grandson, Mira, and sometimes with me. That's it. Just the last announcement that I want to make before you leave. Here is a QR code. And this is a QR code of fundraiser of a person who I know. His name is also Andriy, and he is living in Khersonska region of Ukraine. And what he and his team are doing, they are evacuating people from red zone. I know that you paid for tickets, but if you have a couple more euro and you can donate, it would be very great, because this is a very dangerous job and it requires working car, medical equipment, ammunition, etc., etc. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, I just cannot do any show right now without something like this. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.